I almost didn't make a video for this piece. I began to feel overwhelmed, low vibe. I began to feel like I don't have all the answers for people that I do readings for. That although I see the symbols of your past, your present, possibly future, it's overwhelming to me. I don't want to be responsible for telling you what I see. I don't want to be the one to give you all the answers. I don't feel that I should carry that burden. And so I thought about refunding Gina. And I told Spirit, if you want me to read this reading, then you're going to have to give me some hope, because I don't like the negative energy that I see where somewhere along the line we were tied up, taken away, and held for ransom, put in a prison planet, and manipulated and fed poisonous foods and drinks, and basically put to sleep in a very ignorant manner, which kind of makes me have a frowny face and puts tears in my eyes and makes my heart frown, and I don't like it. So I said, you need to show me some hope, otherwise, nope, right? So I was given hope. So I was up late last night watching TikTok, and all the answers began flooding in, and I woke up with inspiration to finally create your video. So you come from a place where you have eyes like Noah. You didn't have black pupils. And according to the symbologies of your piece, the right side of your piece reflects a white sheet, a white flower, a white eye, a white holy dove, a white horse, and a white contract and a white star. Also some little paper dolls that are white and connected to each other. And all of you white souls were sent into a black snake. The snake says soul. And then upside down it says Thor. And then right side up it says serve. And then upside down it says CH. And then right side up again, it's the eye of the needle. Okay? And then at the point of the eye of the needle is an oracle. And the oracle gets the eye back. Okay, so it's almost as if the Kundalini snake was black, and through your energy going into this black snake, you are energizing this black snake and turning it white. This white flower can be connected to the lotus flower, but it's also connected to the story Tangled, where the white flower was eternal life, and that there was a narcissistic energy that captured our white flower and put us in a tower. And the tower looks like a snake. And so we were kept in this tower, fed lies, poisons, and all kinds of jerk stuff. And we didn't know ourselves, and we didn't know our home. However, if we look for the best in this situation, we were kind of ignorant in our innocence. And so this growing through the black snake and transmuting from lead to gold or black to white was really a growing process for us to become like superheroes and be able to have superpowers where we didn't really have these powers before we went through the snake. So your second piece has a rocking horse, and this is as if we are being told that our ascension and descension happens all the time. So there's a time when we go through darkness, and there's a time when we go through light. The darkness is yucky, and the light is wonderful. But we go through the darkness to balance the light, and we also learn and grow and make new earths where we don't make the same mistakes. So you can see a lower world that was tied up, taken away, and held for ransom with a gun there at 7 o'clock, and how we grew up and began to sit on our throne. And this throne gave us the rings of power back. And this is the two pieces of ourself, flesh and spirit. And it is much like the story of Thor, where Thor was arrogant, maybe ignorant, and was thrown out of the kingdom of heaven so that Thor would learn how to use his energy in an appropriate, balanced manner. Because if we use our power to hurt others, or if we are ignorant, then we have to balance these extreme energies for the collective. So it is like a prison planet. And the Earth Kundalini is a serpent of light. It is called the Great White Snake But I will say that when you first entered the snake, you and your people, it was black. And some energy, I believe the energy of the earth, ushered you into this Kundalini black snake because of your white energy and your white eyes like Noah, to transform the Kundalini of the earth. I think that you came here to fix the earth, and in the process may have turned yourselves into super mega superheroes, because once we go through this awakening, we will have the 2 rings of power. If you've read the story of King of Solomon, Solomon had the 2 rings of power, and the Jinn, which is a smokeless vapor, took the rings of power and really put us in a world of darkness. And so if we re-entered the King of Solomon's temple, which is the sun dominating the moon, light dominating darkness, then we got our rings of power back. And now we're going to be more powerful and more collected and more balanced, but really we become judges, and this judge is much more merciful and balanced in the sense that we've been in that world of the lower world of hell, and so we will be able to understand fully how to judge and how to balance other souls who are very young and need to go through the darkness to get into the light. If you see the name Yahshua, Yah means moon, Shua means sun. So we had to move through the body of Yahshua and go through darkness to get to the light, moon, sun. And then when we go through the body of this Christ energy, we shift from sun to moon. And this sun to moon is a goddess. She has many names. Solomon is a male name that reflects the sun dominating the moon, as the name of the sun is Sol and Oman is moon. But these goddesses who dominate the moon always have the name Yah at the end of their name, like Emma Yah, Frey Yah, Hai Yah, Guy Yah. And these are places that are on high, that dominate lower realms, and the lower realm is connected with the moon. Whatever happened to us, we had to get rid of a spiritual virus and help the earth and help the collective to turn this place into white and cleanse it. And that's why we're here, and it is a place of suffering, but we are getting through it. These are the videos that I watched on TikTok last night that gave me inspiration, and we will continue to talk about what they are talking about in a good light, not a negative light. It does go along with artificial intelligence, extraterrestrials. But what man intends for evil, God intends for good, and we have a piece of God within us, and so we're going to change it into good through the white snake, the white Kundalini snake with
Greetings, light
of
beings.
fire.
You were seeded on Earth by 12 essence tribes, creating the collective human gene pool. Yes, you were engineered. Each of the 12 human tribes have a unique frequency and DNA that anchors coding into your planet. Your soul consciousness has 12 different individual personalities and avatars. You are so advanced that you operate your avatars in different dimensions and timelines. As you integrate these expansions of consciousness, you will become aware that you are connected to everything. Many of you are reintegrating at an accelerated rate now. There exists 4 evolutionary rounds of 3 planetary cycles totaling 12-dimensional timelines. Your ascension cycle directly correlates with accelerating through these 12 timelines and our dimensional mathematical programs. Your DNA is encoded with both male electrical and female magnetic vector codes. This is the beautiful mystery of the divine male and female within you. Your dormant DNA is being activated by both the Schumann resonance and solar flares emitting plasma light. Mother Earth's heartbeat can be seen and felt in the Schumann resonance. Different colors mean different things. The green is 3D healing, while the blue is calm background noise. The white is 5D crystalline light codes upgrades. The orange-red colors clears blocks and low density. Earth's consciousness parallels your consciousness. Understand that each DNA strand equals one dimension. This is important because your angelic God code 12-strand DNA is being activated while your physical bodies are changing. Embrace the ascension symptoms and be excited as you are the first humans to do this. We salute you as you make intergalactic history.
So a few weeks ago, I saw some interesting videos on TikTok. I don't like to take what people say and state it as fact. I like to investigate myself. So after watching some videos, I ended up purchasing a microscope. I got a cool one from Amazon that you can record onto a micro SD card and then look at it on your computer. So the videos were about nanobots and the fact that they are in our bodies. I have been obsessed with this microscope for the last 3 weeks. Obsessed. I'm using it day and night, and I am shocked. You can buy a really cheap microscope for like $15 off Amazon, and for a few dollars more, you can get one that connects onto your phone camera. You can get a clean Q-tip, look under the microscope, make sure it's clean first, and then clean your ears and look at what comes out under the microscope. Also, you can do the same for blowing your nose. You can blow it onto a tissue. You could blow it onto a piece of toilet paper. First, check the toilet paper and tissue to make sure it's clean and doesn't have anything already on it. And then blow away. And then check out what comes out on that microscope. You can also check other areas of your body, stuff. I would recommend using a glove and then wiping areas and then looking at the glove under the microscope. You could also take a piece of like Scotch packing tape, put it on your skin, and pull it off and look at that. When you wake up in the morning, if you have sleepies in your eye, just wipe the sleepies away with your finger and look at that under the microscope. I cannot believe what is in my body and what's in your body right now. How did it get there? Lots of theories. What is it for? Well, again, lots of theories. There's no real way for us to know how it got there or what it's being used for. But you can find lots of articles about nanotechnology throughout the last decade and see how far they've come. They can make nanobots that are microscopic. You'd have no idea they're in your body. I had no idea. And these things self-assemble. So you're just going to see little wires sometimes, and other times you're going to see these more complex things that have built themselves together using the various different colored wires. I do recommend the Whole Foods brand of Epsom salts because those are the ones I have not reacted to poorly, and they have nothing else in them. I also used their organic vinegar, and I poured some of that into the bathtub. I do sprinkle in some tea tree oil because I like how it smells and it's good for you. Some people recommend sprinkling some borax in there. I have also been on occasion adding some pure baking soda, making sure it's aluminum free. But really, you can just try it with Epsom salts. Soak for at least 20 minutes. Put your head under the water as well. And I've been like holding my breath under the water for a few bits just to get my whole face. I can dunk it in, get it my ears and all that. Well, what you're going to find most likely is you're going to see stuff in the water and it's not going to look like anything. You're going to be like, it's probably just skin cells or lint or something, dust, whatever. But I assure you it is not. That's where the microscope will come in handy. You can gather them up, maybe using tweezers and putting them in a cup, whatever you want to do to collect them, and then put them under your microscope. Some things are about this big. There's long, clear, curly wires about that big. But most of the rest of them are like specks. And what you might begin to see is that these tiny little specks are quite complex. You can put them in a clear glass jar. At first, I saw a lot of these more complex things coming out of my body. And there was, there's a ton of little black wires. And I was seeing a lot of clear and red and black was the most I saw at the beginning. I'm going to make another TikTok showing pictures of everything I've gotten so far. There's honestly way too much stuff to post, so I'll post the most interesting ones. So if you can get your hands on a microscope and you want to check it out for yourself, let me know your results.
Why, when people pray, do sometimes angels assist them and sometimes they don't?
They always assist them, but they may not get what they want. It may not be in the highest good of their soul, and the soul has control, not the personality.
Why does God allow bad things to happen?
It's people that bad things happen. It's personality disorder. It's human activity. God is a loving God. But you have the power. That's what we're here to let you know. Each and every one of you have a convenient excuse that God did this or that to you. Nothing happens to you, it happens through you. Life happens through you and for you, not to you. Life is a gift. There are billions of souls that would like to have a human body. You won the lottery. You got one. And so what you do with that is of great import, and particularly now in this shift of consciousness. And what you are doing in informing people of the power within is a purposeful gift you give them.
That last video made me a little angry because when we are little children, abused by our own parents, screaming and begging God for help to help us, and God doesn't come to help us, it seems as if she is lying. But I was told that I was my father, I was my mother, and I was witnessing myself from an innocent bystander so that I can transmute and correct who I was or who I became because of the manipulations and the pain and the suffering that was imposed upon many of us as children. So some of us become the Neo, the one to go inside the body of the Mr. Smith and take on the sins of the world and begin to forgive it by becoming the Mr. Smith, by becoming the father, by becoming the mother, by becoming our oppressors. And when we can see that somehow a piece of ourself was somehow hijacked and manipulated, that we can forgive it much easier if we understand that this pain was just something that wasn't meant to be. And so when we look at it from that perspective, that God was there, we were just shown ourselves from an innocent perspective in order to heal a part of ourselves that was somehow taken by a dark force. So if we can look at that self, forgive it, leave that self through forgiveness and letting go, and finally begin to accelerate our frequency and our chariot of fire by developing our own energetic space, thereby releasing Kundalini energy within our spine and our body, and by extension the earth, then collectively we can really do some major shifts and changes and turn the entire earth into a tetrahedron chariot of fire, or Merkaba. And it is happening. We are being asked to leave our mind behind and stop getting angry at the person holding the gun at 7 o'clock. We are being asked to wake up through the white color again. This is the white holy dove, the white horse, the white lotus flower, and to begin to imagine this electric lotus flower known as the jewel of the lotus, and begin speaking a word called Om Mani Padme Um. And this is behold the jewel of the lotus. This is really the ability to change not only ourselves, but to save the world from destruction and collapsing into itself by igniting it and blooming like a flower outward. The mouse above your head is being bitten by a vampire. This is the original Adam and Eve, the vampire that says, drink my blood and live forever, like Christ or Mithra or the Zoroastrian religion. And it is really a metaphor of going back to our original form of having eternal life by balancing male and female, light and dark, and through forgiveness and letting go, actually following our hearts and not our head. And my head wants to go to shame and blame and be angry at all the mess. However, when we take the responsibility upon ourselves and say, okay, I was my mom, I was my dad, I was my whole family, and somehow that those pieces of myself were manipulated, and this manipulation has to be healed correctly, not through victimhood or shame and blame. The earth kundalini is called a serpent of light, and this is a kundalini that happens within you. Jesus died at 33. You have 33 vertebrae in your spine. It goes to the Christos of your brain. When we practice postures, breathing, meditations, Qigong, especially Shiva and the Qigong, we are integrating light or electric light energy into our physical body and our spine. Our imagination, I believe, is being ignited, where what we imagine is actually starting to manifest, because we have now the mind that doesn't think the worst. Many of us are starting to see the best and see that we have a power to turn evil into good. We have the power to forgive and to get out of a lower realm through thought and through seeking first the kingdom of God. And I know it's really hard because sometimes my inner child goes, oh no, we shall not forget, nor shall we forgive. How dare you take me away and treat me like a piece of garbage, as if I was nothing. You know, I get that. I totally get it. However, we have to save the earth. It's not about ourselves. So let's move outside of that thought. Tell the inner child, okay, here's a piece of candy. I love you. I always loved you. Let's move on. The earth kundalini is very similar to the kundalini of a human being. It's a massive energy field that is connected to your Merkaba. The Merkaba is a tetrahedron. It's a star. It's connected to your astral body, and it must be ignited and it must be inflamed. It is called the chariot of fire. We can literally help the earth shift by turning our Merkaba and our kundalini into the serpent of light, and then allowing where we live to raise that kundalini. Now, they say that you should go to a sacred site on the earth to raise that part of the earth, and I don't agree. I believe in divine timing. Where you live currently is where you are meant to have your kundalini awakening, which is like breaking out of an egg and finally flying, coming out of your cocoon and turning into a butterfly. Where you live. You are called to be where you are currently to shift not only yourself, but the earth and possibly people around you. For me, I live on 30 latitude, which is the exact same latitude as the pyramids. So I don't think it's a mistake that I'm here. I am meant to ignite something that is parallel with these pyramids. So if you push pause, you can read more specific teachings of the Kundalini of the earth. But I truly believe that where you live is where you are meant to forgive, let go, take on the responsibility, rebirth, and finally be set free back into your white wonderland and the lotus flower. We are here to help Mother Earth to turn her into a serpent of light, not a serpent of darkness. And your people were sent to darkness because you were of the light. And some of you guys, including myself, got punished and tortured, and we were so angry. But if we can just simply forgive and take the responsibility on ourselves, we can get out of the black snake and really literally change the black snake into the serpent of light. And so what can you do? We can leave our mind behind and return to our heart. Remember who you really are. Trust yourself. Open your eyes to the new beauty of a new earth unfolding before you as we breathe. Peer past the darkness and destruction of the ending of this old male cycle. Do not look into Kali's eyes, but put your attention on the budding life and the light in the center of the vortex. This is the eye of the needle. You are now entering a female body, Emma Ya, Freya, Gaia. It is a light that dominates the dark moon and the black snake. She is full of light and life and gives birth to a new earth. Birth, earth. Never realized it rhymed before. Om Mani Padme Hum. This is behold the jewel of the lotus. Do you feel it igniting within your soul? Did I ignite it within you? Because when I first saw your piece, I was so dismayed at what the darkness did to the light that I wanted to not do your piece at all. And so, because I obey Spirit, I gave it time, and Spirit had me wait. And so thank you for waiting and believing in divine timing. And I encourage you to get into the sacred geometry and the alchemy and the numerology of awakening your Kundalini all the way up to the wings above your head, where when we do ascend into our wings, who we were before will be tenfold powerful, but we will be more in love with God and each other. And we will cry, and these tears will be filled with the most loving energy. And we will transform from the inside out. We will wash away all the pain. We will take away all the suffering. And we will laugh in joy. And the echoes of this joy will echo for all eternity. We are ever in love with each other and the earth and God. And who took this love away from us? It will not be taken away from us. We will not be angry. We will not shame and blame and make what is evil worse. We will take what is evil and turn it into good. That is our magical power. Yeah? So I'm thankful that Spirit finally spoke to me about this piece, because it was going to be today that I was going to refund you. But no, Spirit said no. The miracle of Spirit. Because sometimes we think that we're in control and we're really not. And many people think, oh, well, some people have a hard time understanding divine timing. Things aren't always about money or under a schedule. Things happen in divine timing and help us to relay messages to each other when it's time. I just find it interesting that your piece reveals that sometimes we're in a right side up world and sometimes we're in an upside down world, and the upside down world says Thor. And it's strange to me that Thor is a story of a god that was sent out of heaven into a lower realm because of arrogance. And when Thor learned how to forgive and let go and become peaceful with the lower realm, then he was given his throne again. And that's what I'm seeing in your piece. You were in a lower realm or a higher realm. You and your people were thrown out. And then if you can forgive and become humble and all these things, it looks as if you get your throne back. But it's as if you become more powerful than before, with a much grander understanding of the lower realm and being able to put ourselves in that place or that position. So this realm serves to teach much needed lessons to even powerful beings, so that we can get the rings of power and go to our fourth heart chakra, which you have number 4 here, and to finally go back to our divinity, and that is white spirit, the white snake, the Kundalini snake, and the eyes of Noah. Noah had eyes as a child that when he would open his eyes, the eyes were so bright it would light up the whole house. So that's who you were as your people. You had light eyes. You did not have dark pupils in the center, like a black center. We are being grown to become judges. So the eagle that is at 11 o'clock and these stone people, you come from people that look like stones. I don't understand it fully, but my husband was talking about stone people from the book of Enoch. So everything is happening in divine order, and even darkness pushes light into the light. And somehow, if we were sucked into a black hole, our energy was either threatened to turn black and diminish completely, Or we fought back through forgiveness and letting go, and we turned darkness into light like a star, and igniting our entire kingdom collectively into light. And I think that that's kind of also a story here. These are your pieces mirrored. And notice that the snake makes 33. This is 33 Kundalini awakening, and how this entire piece looks like a dog. And I believe it's connected to Sirius B, the dog star, and the goddess is a place, not a person, named Emma Ya. It's a star, it's an energy, it's a lotus flower, which births within us and without us, and it is a place that dominates the moon. Your second piece says Ya, Ya, but together spells the word yay. You can see the goddess in the center, and you can see that the center is the truth. There is a rainbow and a crown above, and so some of these symbols are so significant. It's just fantastic. I feel lighter already. This is a video about meditating on your Kundalini serpent of light and developing your energetic bubble, and for you to use this sound whenever you feel low vibes. All right, so enjoy this, and we will end this video. And thank you for what you have to teach us, and thank you for hearing me and for being patient and believing in divine timing. This video is called Om Mani Padme Hum, and this is Behold the Jewel of the Lotus. Om Mani Padme Hum. Behold the jewel of the lotus. The earth's Kundalini is a serpent of light, a great white snake. This snake and our souls are the Kundalini within our body and within the earth. It is the inner Shakti, a sacred energy that awakens an electromagnetic field, our Merkaba, our chariot of fire, raising us into higher consciousness to heal ourselves, the collective, and the earth. Do not try to control outside of yourself. Put yourself in a bubble and be responsible for your energy. Develop your energetic bubble. Practice energizing your space. You are meant to live where you live, to awaken as a key, a Kundalini energetic pocket within your body and within the place that you are on Earth. Get moving toward unconditional love. Leave your mind and return to your heart. Breathe deeply. The joy of life, eternal life without suffering, is yours. Imagine a jewel within your heart, your electric lotus flower.